Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Techno Talks here. So in front of us today, we do have the Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus. UPS did go ahead and just drop this off, and so I am super excited to check this device out. I will go ahead and unbox this device. I will go ahead and give you my first impressions on it real quick, but other than that, that'll basically be it for this video. I did go ahead and actually order the S24 Ultra as well, but unfortunately that hasn't arrived, so I will go ahead and make a separate video on that. But for now, let's go ahead and get this device checked out. Alright, so before actually unboxing the device, I do want to get the price out of the way. So with the S24 Plus this year and also the S24, we did stay at the same prices they had last year, which is going to be $999 for the S24 Plus. And also with the pre-order discounts, we are going to be able to get 512 gigabytes for free for exactly the same price as the 256. So now that we've actually talked about that, let's go ahead and open it up. Taking a look at the front, I do have the gray color. We have tons of different colors this year, and I really do think they look really good. It does say S24 Plus on the bottom, and on the back, we don't really have anything else other than some pull tabs, which I did go ahead and rip out. So if we do go ahead and drop the phone, voila. So here is the first look at our S24 Plus. On the inside, we do get a separate box, which probably just has our cables because we don't really get anything else from devices nowadays. They only do come with the cable, and yes, we do have our SIM ejection tool, and we have our USB-C to C charging cable. So moving this to the side and actually taking our phone out for the first time. So here's the S24 Plus in its gray color. And again, we do have tons of different colors right here on Samsung's own website. We have 3 exclusive colors, and then we have 4 colors you can pick up anywhere. I did want to go ahead and go with a gray phone. I usually do go for the darker options, but this year I really did like how Samsung did the colors, and so I went ahead and went with the gray color. Again, it looks really nice. I'm not sure if the camera picks up how well this looks, but it looks very nice and premium. We do have our side rails, which are flat, so it actually does resemble an iPhone very much, and I will actually go and compare my 15 Pro side by side just to show you how similar they are. I wish I did have the S24, which actually is the same size as the 15 Pro, but again, this is going to be the Plus. So let's go ahead and actually check this device out. So again, we do have a very similar design, just like last year. We have 3 cameras, and then we do have a flat back. But again, as I said, we do have flat sides, and we still do have a flat display. So the major outer differences are going to be for the S24 Ultra, because it does have a flat display unlike a curved display, and it also does have flatter sides. But taking this portion off, so I'm going to be quiet for this. And wow, so that was very nice and satisfying. And powering on our device for the first time. And these buttons do feel very good. Go ahead and hold the power button. And we might actually, oh, there it is. I thought we were actually out of battery, which doesn't really happen, but might have happened for this one. And again, the buttons do feel very nice and premium. They are a little high up, but not too high where you can't reach it. I wish they were just a tad bit lower, but I guess it does look better when it's a little higher than where it should be. So this is going to be our startup screen, and so let's go ahead and get this device set up. Alright, so getting our device set up for the first time, here we do have our welcome screen. Let's go ahead and click start. We'll go ahead and agree to these. You can agree to those, or if you don't want, you don't have to. And right away on my S23 Ultra, I did actually get up a setup screen, which I will actually go ahead and do. So it's super easy. I'm going to go ahead and click setup. Go ahead and connect the 2 devices. Go ahead and wait for them to connect to each other. And let's go ahead and scan the QR code. It does say getting your phone ready. This may take a few minutes, so we'll go ahead and wait for that. So we can actually go ahead and transfer our SIM card to this device. I believe it does use eSIM, but again, I do want to do this later. I'll go ahead and wait for this, so I will click setup later in settings. And now we do have our copy data screen, which we will click next. So we do have 2 different options. We can either do this wireless or with a cable. I will go ahead and do it wirelessly. And now it is connecting to my other device. And now that it has actually connected to the phone, it is searching for the data to transfer. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose everything. You can actually choose a couple of different options. You can do this custom as well. You can choose which messages, or if you do want all your contacts or some of your contacts, some of your apps, or if you don't want some of the apps. But again, I will go ahead and do everything, because I do want to actually transfer everything on here, but you can completely customize this if you really do want to start over. So now that I have chosen everything, it is transferring all of the data. Alright, so as you guys know, Samsung has talked about AI a lot this year. That was basically 70% of everything for the new devices. And we do have this new setup screen, so it does say Advanced Intelligence or AI. And it does talk about some of the things that it has brought. So get real-time translation, some changes with the Samsung keyboard, interpreter, some changes in our Samsung Notes, voice recorder, Samsung Internet. And also, one of the things I'm actually looking forward to, the photo editor, because it can do a lot of things, which does seem very cool. But again, this is the new screen that we get in our setup process. All right, so we are all set up now. Let's go and click finish real quick, and we should be looking at our home screen, which should be very similar to what we had before, because it does actually just transfer everything, your whole layout, all your settings, and it just makes the setup process super nice and simple, which we do have right here. So I'm gonna wait for all these apps to download, and while this is downloading in the background, we will actually go ahead and talk about some other things. So the S24 Plus, honestly, in my opinion, is the phone this year that actually did get the major upgrades compared to its predecessor. So we actually do get a larger display. We have a 6.7-inch display compared to 6.6 inches. And we also do get a Quad HD Plus display, which is the same with the S24 Ultra. So we're not going to be losing out on any of the quality that you do get with the S24 Ultra series. And then we also did get a nice little battery upgrade. So instead of 4,700 milliamp hours, we now do have 4,900 milliamp hours, which is very close to the Ultra series, which does have 5,000 milliamp hours. So again, Samsung really did a good job with the Plus series. We also do get 12 gigabytes of RAM instead of 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is 4 more than last year. So again, honestly, in my opinion, Samsung has done the most with the S24 Plus, and I think that is a good thing, because the main reason that I actually did always go for the Ultra was because of all the features that it has, but I honestly always did like how the Plus series did feel in the hand, and this year with the sides being flat, it honestly does feel very nice and premium. Taking a look at the cameras, we still do have the same array. We do have a 50 megapixel wide angle camera, a 12 megapixel ultra wide, and a 10 megapixel 3x telephoto lens. So we really haven't changed up much with the cameras. And the same goes for the selfie camera, as that is still 10 megapixels. So honestly, we really haven't gotten a very large upgrade with these new series, and they kind of just refined everything. So Samsung is kind of pushing back on the new improvements. They're just refining all the things they already have. So I'm not a super big fan of this, but again, it's always good to know that you are using a very nicely optimized device and you're not going to be running into any issues with the phone. So now that we've actually talked about the upgrades, let's go ahead and head into the settings and check them out. Again, taking a look at the settings, I do want to start off with the display. So as I said, we do get a Quad HD Plus display. We still do get a 120 Hertz display, which is adaptive, and it does go down to 1 Hertz if I'm not mistaken. We also do have our vivid screen mode. I have actually heard in a couple of reviews that the vivid screen mode on the S24 series is not as vivid as the 23 series, so I will actually have to compare this side by side to see. And again, we do have our Quad HD Plus display, which is good to know. So honestly, nice little upgrade with the display. We also do get brighter displays at 2600 nits, which is probably the brightest right now out of all the flagships, and that is a good thing in my opinion. But again, unfortunately, with the S24 and the S24 Plus, we do not get the anti-glare technology, which is on the Gorilla Glass on the S24 Ultra. But again, that should be fine. It would be nice to have it, but I will actually go ahead and compare that once my S24 Ultra does arrive. Plopping into the battery settings, we do get some power saving mode, battery protection, adjust charging behavior, which I usually never turn on, and we still do get our wireless power share, plus showing our battery percentage, and we can also show our battery information. And as you can see, 4,900 milliamp hours, which is good to know. Popping into our device care, once again, this phone does have 12 gigabytes of RAM, and it also does have RAM Plus enabled. Plus, we do get the 512 gigabyte version. And again, if you do still order the device right now, I believe the promotion is still going on, where they actually do offer the 512 version for the same price as the 256. If we do scroll down a little, we can see that we do have a performance profile where we have standard and light. Light mode basically just increases your battery life. It does bring down the performance of the device, but again, you can choose which one to use. I'm going to keep it on standard because so far the battery life on these devices has always been good. I haven't tested this one out, but I know from this 23 series where battery life is great, and now that we've got that battery upgrade, I believe in a normal day-to-day usage, this phone will outperform many other devices. So we still do get our fingerprint sensor, which is actually a little faster than last year. They've actually upgraded that, and we still do get our facial recognition. It's still 2D, it's still not the best compared to other devices, but again, fingerprint is going to be the way to go. So let's go ahead and actually set that up. Let's go ahead and click continue and register our fingerprint. Go ahead and press press down until it actually reads it. Go ahead and press the inside, lift it, inside, outside, just going to get all the edges, and continue pressing until we do get to 100% with the reading. And now we are at 100%, so we do have our fingerprint added. Now that we have the fingerprint set up, let's actually go ahead and test this out real quick. So I do have the screen off right now. This is going to be the always on display, and you can kind of see that they went ahead and went the Apple route with the always on display. We do still have the wallpaper in the background, it's just being dimmed out. Honestly, I'm not a fan of this. If I'm going to be using an always on display, I want it to be turned off completely black so it's not actually eating up my battery. And that's one of the main reasons for an always on display. You're still able to see your notifications, time, battery percentage, and not use a lot of your battery life. So you can still turn this off, but default it is turned on. So here's the screen off. We can see where our fingerprint sensor is. Go ahead and touch it. And then again, one more time. Again, just like always, super fast and super nice to use. So honestly, the ultrasound fingerprint sensor has always been very good on Samsung's devices, and so I'm always a fan of it. But other than that, that is basically it for the fingerprint sensor. It's been upgraded a little. It's a little bit faster. It was already super fast, so it's good to know that they are still looking after it, even though they really don't need to do anything with it. But again, that is going to be the fingerprint sensor for you. So let's go ahead and actually set up the face unlock real quick. So here is our face recognition. All we have to do is click continue and point the camera towards ourselves. Take off our glasses if you do have glasses. And voila, so that is going to be it. I'm going to put my glasses back on, and if we do go and plop onto the home screen, that is it. So super fast and easy to use, which is good to know. So the phone is actually warming up a little. I wanted to talk about this. It's getting a tad bit warm, but this usually happens whenever I'm setting up a display. I hope, so far I haven't heard much about it, but I hope we don't have any issues with heating like I've been having with my 15 Pro. I don't know why, for some reason, but this new generation of devices, they're having some heating issues. I hope the S24 series doesn't have that, but again, I will have to use this phone for a little while to actually let you guys know how that's gonna be. So for the security, again, we do have our fingerprint and our face unlock. Face unlock is still 2D, but it still does function pretty well. Again, your banking apps and stuff don't really let you use it anyways, so fingerprint is going to be the way to go. Once again, taking a look at the hardware. So again, we do have our flat sides, which look really nice and beautiful in my opinion. And again, compared to the previous devices I usually go for, I did go ahead and go buy this whiter color, which is actually going to be the gray color. We unfortunately don't get titanium with the Plus and the regular S24. That only comes with the Ultra series, so I do actually want to see how that works out. But again, we do have a matte finish on the aluminum, so it does look really nice in my opinion. Honestly, I am a fan of this. I don't really like that they copied Apple in a way, but again, even though they might have copied this, I honestly don't really care much, because if I do like something and another company implements that, honestly that's better for me. So Samsung being one of the phone companies that I really do enjoy using, I really do like that they have actually taken the inspiration to make flat sides, and honestly it does look very nice and premium in my opinion. So finally, I do want to hop into the camera app just to go ahead and go through some settings. Again, we can change the megapixel count, and they have actually refined the UI, so it's a lot simpler now. Before, you would actually have to click that, it would pull up all the megapixel options, but now all you have to do is just tap it, which is super nice. And that goes for everything except for the ratio, I guess, but you don't really change that much. And then if we do go ahead and pop into video, we do still get 8K 30 frames per second, but we do get 4K at 60 frames. Unfortunately, this does not come with 120 frames like the Ultra, so we can't do that slow motion thing that the Ultra has, but that should be fine. And we still do get all the other options we need. So we also do get 4K 60 frames per second on our selfie camera, and we also do get our selfie camera right here. We do have a wide angle and we have a regular angle. So again, very nice and easy to use. I really do like that they refined the UI a little, and honestly, it does look really nice in my opinion. So that is basically gonna be it for all these settings on the new S24 Plus. I haven't really talked about the AI features. I will actually do a dedicated video on that to talk about all the new AI features that the S24 Plus has brought. But for now, this is gonna be it for my first impressions. Last but not least, I do want to quickly go ahead and compare the S24 Plus to some of the other devices I have right here. So the 15 Pro, the Pixel 8 Pro, and also the S23 Ultra. So again, very similar in sizes, except that the Ultra is just a tad bit wider and a tad bit taller. Again, 6.8 inches on the S23 Ultra and then 6.7 inches on the S24 Plus. So they do look really nice and similar. And honestly, again, as I said, I really do prefer the way the Plus looks, and also that the corners are not jagged like the S23 Ultra and the S24 Ultra. Again, looking at the iPhone, which honestly looks very similar. As I said, we do have the titanium on the Pro series. This does have aluminum, and again, this does look very similar to the 15 series. So I don't know, I'm a fan of it. I really do like that they have the sides being completely flat. If we do go ahead and compare the tops as well, and also the bottom, you can see that they are very similar. Honestly, I'm a fan of it. So if you don't like it, you might not like it, but personally, I am a fan of it. And finally, here's the Pixel 8 Pro next to the S24 Plus. Again, this is just a tad bit taller, but it is actually almost the same width as the S24 Plus. So that'll basically be it. And again, I will actually go ahead and talk about the AI features in a separate video. So I do want to talk about those a little more in depth because honestly, they do look pretty cool, and Samsung has brought some new things to the table. So that will basically be it for the S24 Plus. All right, so that is basically gonna wrap it up for the S24 Plus. Honestly, a great device all around. I do have to use it for a little more, and again, as I said, I will talk about the AI features in a separate video, as Samsung has added a lot of features which honestly all look really cool. I'm not sure how useful they are, but again, we are gonna have to see that in that separate video. So as always, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and see y'all in the next one.